The Clone Wars was a massive conflict that naturally needed the precise coordination abilities of both Republic and Separatist generals. As in any war, some generals were better and more ruthless than others, and this was made no different in the Clone Wars, where in my opinion, the Separatists had one of the best all-round generals of the entire Clone Wars, with the Karkadon known as Riff Tamson proving himself to be an extremely tough competitor and going toe-to-toe with the greatest Jedi generals the Republic had at their disposal. First things first, and to recap, for those of you who don't know, Riff Tamson was a commander for the Confederacy of Independent Systems during the Clone Wars. He was, as stated before, a Karkadon male, a bipedal shark-like species that hailed from the aquatic planet of Karkaris in the Outer Rim. In 20 BBY, Riff Tamson assassinated the king of the planet known as Dak in an attempt to cause mass unrest between the Mon Calamari and Quarren, just two of the many species native to the world. He was successful in doing so, as the newly formed Quarren Isolation League aligned itself with Count Dooku in an attempt to take control over the planet and hand it to the Separatist Alliance. Now that we have a little bit of background, let's get back to addressing the title. Why do I think Riff Tamson was one of, if not the best general we ever saw? Well, as a Karkadon, he was naturally a very strong swimmer and warrior, even managing to best our favourite tentacle-haired Jedi Master Kit Fisto. Other feats of course include being able to swim as fast as an OMS Devilfish sub, and also being able to smash a reinforced glass tube with just his head, whilst chasing the Mon Calamari prince, Lee Cha. Pretty impressive, right? Whilst being an incredible warrior, Riff's prowess on the battlefield doesn't end here, as he was also an incredibly intelligent and sadistic strategist. Utilizing biological weapons native to his homeworld of Karkadon, known as the Hydroid Medusas, not only was Riff Tamson able to pave the way for his Separatist forces, but he was also, unfortunately for the Republic, able to kill many enemy soldiers with the Medusa's huge trailing tentacles frying anything it came into contact with. In addition to this, when it came to hand-to-hand combat, Riff Tamson was probably one of the scariest generals to face. Not only was he armed with rows of jagged sharp teeth, but he also wielded explosive knives that were used to bring about a bloody end to a couple of soldiers, as well as used in an attempt to assassinate Lee Cha himself. Ironically though, it was Lee Cha who bested Tamson in the end, killing him with his own knife. That's pretty humiliating for such a tough general. That said though, it was still during this short conflict that saw him best an entire battalion of specially trained scuba troopers, whilst also cunningly preventing the prince's escape by blowing up the Consular class cruiser that was stationed above the surface of the water right as they were about to reach it. If you thought that was the end of his tactical genius, he also defeated the second wave of Republic reinforcements, an army of Gungans. Although assumed not to be the best of warriors due to their cinematic performances in Episode 1, they were much more adept at underwater fighting and thus surprisingly made for tough foes. Lastly, Riff Tamson was rather ruthless, and as stated before, he of course had a very sadistic nature, not performing torture because it was needed, but because he enjoyed it and wanted to see people suffer. He was pretty much emotionless in every aspect of life, with the exception of his extreme passion for war and bloodthirst. Although he met his end during the Civil War of Dak, he arguably had the Republic and two of the finest Jedi, Anakin and Kit Fisto, on the ropes for a very large amount of this conflict. Without any force sensitivity, he managed to outthink, outfight, and outplay both of them, something of which no other Separatist commander had ever done before. In my honest opinion, if it weren't for the luck and bravery of Prince Lee Cha to hit Tamson with his own weapon, I believe that the CIS would have been able to gain full control over the planet of Dak. Anyways guys, that's pretty much it for the video. I'd be interested to hear, after watching, what are your thoughts on Riff Tamson? Do you agree with my analysis, or am I just a pleb? Let me know below. Also guys, just before you go, I want to thank you all for helping us grow our gaming community. Currently, at the time of making this video, we're at 963 members. We're almost at that huge 1,000 member milestone. And we do have a couple of surprises in store for the servers we currently have, so do make sure you join it. And we do also have a couple of projects on the way for different games, different mods, different servers, everything. So if you want to be in the know about all of that, meet some cool people, and just hang out, then please feel free to join our Geetsly's gaming network, and all these links will be in the description below, as well as our current server IPs and discords. So make sure you join that guys, And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.